when they went to the black uniforms, this is Raider shit.
Yep.
This is Raider shit, and then of course they get Wayne Gretzky. Of course,
Yeah.
you
When Wayne Gretzky came,
get to go.
it was over.
I mean,
it
like
was over
having
for
Michael
me when
Jordan
we got
come
Wayne
to the
Gretzky.
team.
I was ready when we got Wayne Gretzky.
But going to the game,
it was worth
yeah,
going.
it was difficult to follow because you can't follow the puck.
Because he played with Winnipeg all those years, and then he came down here.
You can't follow the puck like you can a basketball.
Because you can't even see that motherfucker.
But you see where the players are going.
Yep.
You see where the players are going. And once you get close enough to understand what the game is, it's fun because it's exciting all the time. And something's going on.
When you hear that puck hit that plexiglass, it just that you know
when
how
you hear a player
wrong.
Get destroyed by another player.
Man.
It's constant. It's constant movement. It's not wait for this thing to happen, wait for this thing to happen. You gotta have your head on a swivel. Can you imagine? See, football, you stop the game. Stop, sit up, get together, then do a play. Then stop again, sit up, do a play. Hockey is
you gotta keep
non-stop.
going. And even when you do the foul play, that goes on for 2 minutes non-stop.
Yeah.
So you got to go try to score in that scoring period that they give you for a foul, and it's 2 minutes, and you going nonstop for 2 minutes trying to score. Shit.
And one of your dudes go and sit down, and then you got to go and you got to
play with one less player.
4 on 5.
Yep.
You got to go 4 on 5.
You're in the penalty. They call it the penalty period, and so the penalty period lasts 2 minutes. And you're short one guy.
And if you do a major penalty, that's 5 minutes.
Yep.
So imagine being down. Imagine if a football game. You said,
and soccer has that same thing.
What if on a football field you say you can't have Jerry Rice for 5 minutes?
Oh God! You can't have Josh Jacobs for 5 minutes. Yep.
And you got to pay 10 on 11.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Imagine. And remember, soccer's all over the world because soccer is
the biggest international.
I like the sudden death.
But it's
like the free throw. The sudden death.
Remember, it's
like the free throw.
To have
you get a free kick.
To have
you
a
make
football,
that shit.
To have a football team, you have to be structured. You can go out there and pass the ball back and forth to each other. Soccer. You can play individually by yourself. You can kick a ball up against a wall, or you can sit there and dribble yourself.
Right.
These kids play with homemade shits. There's a soccer ball in Uganda, in Africa, in the middle of the Serengeti. In the middle of
it's big business in the Caribbean too. Soccer is big business.
And remember, these soccer players come from all over the world. So it's easy for them.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah. It's big business down in the Middle East, man. Qatar. Oh, they host some of the biggest soccer games around. Yeah.
Chocolate, you have to understand.
Qatar,
I would never.
So they're basically like recruited.
Yeah.
They're recruited.
They go to clubs. See, a soccer team has a club when they're 6 years old. These kids come up. They take them from all over the world. They put them in an academy, and these kids play from the time they're 6 or 11 till the time they're 20 and 30 years old. They might play. Watch the David Beckham story.
And Lionel Messi and all of this.
And Messi is
beast mode.
Him and Ronaldo.
The beast mode.
I mean, you watch Messi or you watch how Beckham came up. He came up through Manchester United.
Mm-hmm. And Manchester United is one of the biggest teams in the world.
I mean, you can't get no bigger. But remember, as you play soccer, see, you get all this money because remember, this money's in other countries. So the reason people like playing in Jacksonville, Florida for the Panthers or whatever like that is because there's no fucking taxes. The reason I don't like playing in LA or playing in the Rams is because you get $60 million, And what are you gonna pay? You're gonna pay $5 million in tax.
Right. So
But you play for Vegas, where there's no state tax. Why do you think they wanted to move to Vegas? There's no state tax.
Well, not only that, too, there's a lot of room. They have a lot of land right now. So it's still developing. Vegas is developing. Right. And so
the A's is coming. They're tearing down the Tropicana to make way for the for the stadium. Yeah. But these players, they get a certain amount of money. So you say, I'll give you $100 million to pay for my team. You play for us for 7 months, for 2 years. Then what you do is you loan that. When soccer, you can loan a player out. So,
I didn't know that.
So you can go to another. So say he plays in Argentina.
Yep.
You can send him to Portugal, and then that team in Portugal, because they want a great player, will go, okay, Mr. Owner of the team, here's $45 million to loan him out for 3 months.
Right.
He gets his money. The owner of the team gets his money.
And they fill the seats. Why you think, boy? And I tell you, down in South America, you better not lose them games over there, boy. You liable to be gunned down in the street.
There's 100,000 at each game.
Yeah, they have. They've known for stampedes and shit.
These teams, some of these lesser teams and stuff like that, their fans. You think NFL fans or NBA fans? They can't even, you got stadiums where you can't have, they have sections, you can't sit next to somebody. Like you could go to a 49ers game and sit next to a Rams fan.
Right, all day.
You can't do that in some cities.
No.
They will tear the stands out of. They will fight where they have to stop the game.
Yeah.
Do they call them hooligans?
Well, yeah.
These people fight into the streets. That's why you have stampedes.
Are they called hooligans?
They have stampedes and shit. I mean, it's dangerous. In fact, it's downright dangerous even for those soccer players. Like they had what I think it was Venezuela.
It's very racist.
Yeah, they had Venezuela where they lost the game. And shit, they killed the player that they felt lost in the game.
They killed the dude for
shot him, gunned him down in the street.
What is it, Colombia?
They was Colombia.
Colombia. The dude made his own, made a mistake and scored his own goal.
They did what?
They gunned his ass down in the street.
His ass down in the street.
Yeah.
Why you think these footballers, they got security up there? These motherfuckers, you can't live in Colombia. Them motherfuckers will go ape shit on you, but these dudes is protected. Some of these big dudes, they protected by the drug dealers.
Yeah.
Because they go, you play for our team. I don't want nothing to happen to you. If anything happened to you or say they kidnapped your kid or something like that, these motherfuckers will go crazy because they waiting for the next 4 years to go into the World Cup.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
All because of that?
Yeah. And the World Cup, the Olympics coming, and the World Cup is coming right after. So LA in 2028,
it's gonna be
the Olympics is coming, and then the next is the World Cup. The world comes to the World Cup. You think the Olympics is big?
Wow.
Yeah.
There's nothing bigger than the World Cup.
You know, in track and field now, and this will happen. They've just changed up. Like we used to have the World Championships every 2 years. Well, it's going to be every year now. So now this year. Not only are you going to have the Olympics, you're going to have the World Championships too. And so it's crazy.
That's why they're getting the metro and all that shit ready. That's why they got the $900 billion for the fucking.
Yeah, that's why they're cleaning up this homelessness and all that shit.
Because they know they can't do that shit if somebody
cleaned it up in
motherfuckers.
'84 when the '84 games came here, and I know y'all remember when the '84 games came here.
Yeah, you think they was gonna go down
That
to
was some of the most exciting shit.
And where was the games at,
Where the
Chocolate?
games-
And where
at
was the
the
games at?
Coliseum.
At the Coliseum, right in the middle of the goddamn hood.
Yes.
Crack is the
And it'll
biggest
be
thing
down,
in the
and
world.
it'll be down there again. It'll be there again. It'll be in Pasadena.
It's because they renovated. All that shit.
It fits
They got all the
100,000.
luxury boxes in there now
It
for
fits
USC.
100,000. And I'm going to tell you, you think track has been exciting. Track is going to be rocking and rolling in 2028. Like I said, we got Paris in less than 3 months.
3 months.
4 months. We got Paris. The Olympics will be held
That's
in
why
Paris.
Karen Bass went to Paris last week because it was like
because they're going to be passing the torch to LA at the Paris Games. Because
so
2028 is going to be here. Yes,
shit.
It's a lot of money. See, they look at LA, it's going to be the sister city. So that's what they call you as the sister city. Because when Seoul, they passed the torch to Paris after the Seoul Games. Right. So that's why I said the USA. Like I said, everything's rocking and rolling.
Remember, we have everything.
Sha'Carri was supposed to run today, and she didn't. She postponed it to the 20th as her opening, and the reason she did is because she's going to be in Jiaoming, China.
And
that's where all the top athletes are going to Jiaoming, China. Sharika Jackson, all of them. So the showdown, instead of it being in Miramar, Florida, is going to be in China.
And remember, Chocolate, in Paris and stuff like that, they have to build everything. We have everything already.
Well, yeah, they do. But their track is done because their track is brand new. In fact, it's one of the fastest tracks in the world.
Yeah, what I'm saying is they have to.
But what's going to be the problem? And they've already said that these athletes, where the athletes are going to be staying, they may not have any air conditioning in there, and where they're going to be staying.
Bed bug problem too.
Well, they've always had a bed bug problem. They had that problem when they had in Brazil.
But see, we have everything. We got basketball arenas.
We don't have that shit here.
We got basketball arenas. We got baseball arenas.
We still have stuff from the '84 games.
Remember, breakdancing is going to be an Olympic sport.
It sure is.
Breaking.
So it's going to be something. It is going to be something.
I'm gonna want to see that. I definitely. I'm
hoping that by 2028 they'll bring in the 4x2 relay.
Well, that's big.
I hope that they bring in the 4x2 relays. Because right now they got the 4x1 and they have the 4x4. But I hope they bring in the 4x2. That's what I hope for. But like I said, track and field is now heating up. Everybody's getting ready to make their debuts. And Sha'Carri Richardson actually to me is playing it smart because she ran in Gainesville last weekend. She ran that relay. And I watched her run the second leg because she's usually anchor. She ate that backstretch up.
Yeah.
She ate that backstretch up. But who was most impressive to me? And the United States men's team on that 4x1 better take a look is Ariane Knighton. Ariane Knighton ran that third leg.
Yeah, he's a youngster. Yeah, Cuz is doing his thing.
Let me tell you, you talking about him running that curve. He rolled the shit out of that curve. They have the fastest time. They have the world lead. They ran a 37.67 and did it at ease. And that wasn't even with Christian Coleman. Like I said, if they have Noah anchoring and they put Ariane Knighton on that third leg, the United States will break the world record. I'm telling you now.
You are right.
They'll break the world record.
You are right.
Because they were all running like 9-4, 9-1. They ran like 9-1 splits.
Ooh.
All those splits was like that.
Ooh.
And I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. And then when I watched the women's team, here again, like I said, all the women have to do is just clean up their passes, their handoffs. That world record of the United States set in 2012 will be gone as well.
I want to thank you, sis, because you always be accurate on everything that goes on. Let's talk about something that I got the other day. Old School sent me something about Donald Trump. The Donald Trump situation. Old School. Mm-hmm. Can you please speak about when he spoke about that situation about blacks and Obama? You remember when you sent me that?
Yeah, well, he just said that, what basically just said is like, Obama didn't do nothing for black people. You need a white guy like me to do it.
Well, that first of all, he's full of shit there. What he left out is the reason why Obama's stuff couldn't go through is because that white Congress, that white Republican and Tea Party Congress stopped Obama's agendas. See, here's what people need to understand. And this is what people see. Black people, you got to look at it. Most black people, 50% of the black communities are in the South. They're in red states.
Yes, we are. We know that.
So what happens is when black people from those red states, they look at, okay, well, what have they done for me? That's a very valid question, and I'll tell you why. Because you live in a red state, Obama and Biden and all of them can put all of these things out for you, but your government has to accept them. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. Biden has a federal child's food program, and he set it up for all of to keep kids from starving. Anybody, any state is eligible. It'll be given to them in the form of an EBT. Well, Mississippi struck down and said that they're not going to take any money for that program.
Yes, abide by that program.
They said they're not going to offer that program. They're not going to offer welfare. And I'm going, really? But you take the most federal money out of you take all the federal money, which is federal taxes that come from the blue states. You have the most federal money. The state of Mississippi, how do you think they was able to give it to Brett Favre for Brett Favre to build that stadium, that volleyball stadium for his daughter?
Okay,
so for his daughter's school.
Yeah, you
so see,
sense.
Black people, because they're not receiving this, because they've always been it's been Republican ran, and they don't give the poor people shit. And you can go look at the poverty levels in these different red states. Their poverty level is much higher than it is in blue states. We pay out the most taxes, but they get the most federal funding from our taxes. Yet they talk the most shit about everybody, and they don't do shit for Black people. Black people are living beyond the poverty level. Let's take Mississippi. Mississippi is the poorest state in the United States.
Yes,
Mississippi, you go there, it's a fucking time.
The worst record in mortality.
Yes,
for children. The worst record. The worst record for education.
Yes.
But yet you sit there and want to give all the taxes, and it they go, oh well, New York you pay too much for taxes, and all this shit. In California we pay too much for taxes.
Yes, but we have the top health care.
But I can go to the fucking.
I can go to the fucking doctor though and go get covered in California if I don't have any goddamn insurance. If you don't have any fucking insurance in Texas or Mississippi, you're going to die. And now let me tell you what they're getting ready to do now, and I'm glad you brought this up, Chocolate, because now Georgia, they're getting ready to privatize their hospitals in Georgia. They're going to privatize it, and this is what they're getting ready to do. If you come into the hospital in Georgia. If you go into the hospital in Georgia, if you don't have a blood pressure sky high to where you need to be treated right then and there, whatever you have going on, you're going to have to pay up front. I don't care what it is. You're going to have to pay up front. If you don't have any money, they're sending you packing. They're getting ready to privatize their hospitals to where they can turn you away for care.
Are they doing that?
Yes, they're doing it.
They've been doing that.
No,
okay,
they wasn't at first.
I got my sister-in-law,
but no,
Ingrid Johnson.
No,
she's in the background, but she's a real nurse.
No, over there, they weren't able to do it. What they would do is not expand Medicare and let the hospital close. Now they're not going to let the hospitals close.
No.
They're going to privatize. They're going to privatize the hospital. So when they privatize the hospital, they can make the rules whatever they want.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
So what is going to be happening that, say you come in there with a broken arm, you're going to pay for that broken arm up front. Or you're going to be sent packing to go get your broken arm or wrist fixed someplace else.
Taken care of.
If your blood pressure is not to where you need to be hospitalized or be taken back there so they can lower it, they're gonna be asking for money. You're gonna be paying for your services up front.
Oh, it's a whole lot of things for to go on.
And like I said,
what's going on now?
Yes, they are. But see,
you cannot see my sister-in-law. You cannot see my sister-in-law, but she's telling
But here's the thing, though.
We're not talking about
100.
But here's the thing, though.
100. We cannot do that.
We can't do that.
Kaiser can let themselves go under if they want to.
Oh, they ain't going under.
But they know. They know. Now, we ain't finna fuck off Medicare. They ain't finna fuck off cover California. But they'll come with some bullshit rules to make the workers work harder, you see.
Oh.
That's what they'll do. Now, see, I know, because I work for the state. So I know.
So that's so dope. Keep going.
I know. See, one thing about California.
Keep going.
Governor Newsom and every governor that we've had that's been Democrat is not playing that shit without you not having no health care here.
Wow.
They're not going for that shit here. Down south, they have the highest infant mortality rate. They have the highest women dying in childbirth. I'm telling you, yes. But they'll sit there and tell you that they are pro-life. No, they're pro-birth. There's a difference.
Pro-life.
They are not pro. They never have been. They never have been. That's the thing. Republicans are not pro-life. Republicans are pro-birth. What Republicans are doing, and this is what y'all need to understand, because they just rubbing your face in it. They're scaring you, telling you that the migrants going to replace you. No, they're not. They've been coming over here like this in droves. We just have social media now that can record them coming. See, before you didn't know who the fuck, how they was getting up in here when they came.
Using it to their advantage.
So what they're doing is they're scaring you, and this is where black people is saying, okay, these migrants, these people, these foreigners is going to replace me.
Keep scaring
no,
you
they're the new niggas.
Money.
No, they're the new niggas. Let them be the new niggas. Because the only reason why Republicans want this high birth, that's why they're going after birth control and abortion, is because they just want more poor people to put in these factories. But that's an backwards thought process. Why? We have AI and we have these robots and shit coming in. So what is the point of you having people have all these babies for to work in these factories when machines are going to be doing that? Right. It's like, what are you talking about?
Plus they scared because people of color is having so many babies. They trying to hang on with they dead white hands.
They ain't scared. They ain't scared.
No, they're not scared.
They're not scared. They're not scared.
Enough white babies.
They don't need them. They always been outnumbered. They always been outnumbered, but they're not scared.
These baby boomers is dying.
Doesn't matter. Right, they're not scared. That's not where they're coming from. I'm getting ready to tell you. Where they're coming from is this is a tactic that they used during Nazi Germany.
Assume the position.
They did this in Nazi Germany. They said then that the Jews was outbirthing them, that the Jews was all the things that they're saying about migrants is what they said about the Jews. And that gave them the license to exterminate them. And that is what they are going to do. These migrants have no idea what they are walking into. They have no idea. They're walking into the lion's den with these white people because their racism, we're going back in time. Their racism is overt.
That's crazy.
And they have no problems with saying the N-word. They have, because there's nothing stopping them now. Me, go ahead on. Keep using that. I want to know who's who. I ain't got no problem with it.
I could always used to say that. You know, I'd rather have the racist say it.
Go ahead on and say it. I don't need no political correctness.
You always used to say, I'd rather have somebody say all that shit right to me rather than go behind, you know.
My back.
So, like I said,
like they used to say, it's like what did they say in that movie? They said they used to wear sheets over the head, now they wear they're
bringing out those sheets. See, because let me tell you, I do a lot of cloud watching. A lot of these white supremacy groups and stuff that are out there. I listen from the sky, and the shit that they're talking about going back to Jim Crow. You have no idea. This is why I tell you, Donald Trump is their leader and their hero. That is the reason why when you go and read that Project 2025, they're hiding behind religion, just like they justified religion to have slavery. They're going to justify religion into being an autocratic society.
I agree.
And that is what. And when you read that, it has 4 pillars, which means 4 core goals. It's all religion based. This is what they're hiding behind. The Heritage Group. The Heritage Group is behind it. See, I'm gonna tell you what Obama's big problem was when he was president. Obama tried to get along with the Heritage Group, and he did too much bending for me. I would have been told them people to fuck off had it been me. I'm not doing any of this shit. You would just have to assassinate me. I would not do any of this shit.
That's what they say about Biden. It's like, trying to bring the country together after COVID, and be like, you need to go in there and kick ass sometimes, but you don't go in there and kick ass and kick your own self in the ass. When you capitulate too much, you can be nice, but when you capitulate too much, what do they take you for? They take you for weak. Sometimes you gotta be strong, but sometimes you gotta kick ass.
But what they call strength is usually slaughter. Right. So you have to. There's a
hold up before you go there. What they call what? Say it again. Say that one more time.
It's usually slaughtering somebody.
Thank you. I love that.
Okay, and that's the thing. And Biden knows that. Like I said, you want to know what Biden did for you? All this new infrastructure you're seeing is from his infrastructure bill. That
you can't help when a big ass ship runs into
wait a minute. That all Republicans voted against. but they're all reaping the benefits for it.
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh, look at our airport. Look at our new this and
Can
that.
I take my I'll take this state's money, but
the
I didn't vote for it.
But the bitch didn't vote for it.
But can I ask one question? Between the two of you guys of having a difference, what is the, like, when you really look at it, if you have, just say for instance, you have a athletic mat. What I mean by athletic mat, it's like basically like you have a mat that's just solid on the ground. You could do flip flops and back flips, and everything is like, okay, I could do a back flip and I can land perfect on this mat. At the end of the day, what is perfect to show where we are at of knowing that this is the truth and this is a lie?
Well,
how can we
well,
you
see,
get what I'm trying to say?
Well,
how can we look at that mat and go, okay, I can land flat on this?
You only get
perfectly?
that. You only get that by knowledge.
Well,
of,
you have to be, yeah.
You have to, like.
Y'all get what I'm saying? So
you can have them teach you stuff in a history book.
Right.
But outside,
I love that.
You have to read between the lines. You have to
what
see
is the truth behind when I look?
Well, here's the
truth
thing.
Is subjective.
Well, here's the thing.
I love that.
It's subjective, but here's the bottom line. I'll give you an example.
But I'm
gonna give you an example, and you think about what I'm getting ready to say.
Okay.
Back in the day, slaves couldn't learn. Now, in our day, we can't learn about slavery. They're taking all the books out to school.
Yes.
Now that ought to tell you.
Okay.
That ought to tell you something.
Hold up.
Now that ought to tell you something. When they don't want you to, because they think it's victimhood. They think it's victimhood. They think you have all the opportunity in the world.
Right.
But you can't tell what's in a person's heart. Yeah, a person can go to college. More black women graduate the universities than any other demographic ever. White girls, black girls, Hispanic girls, Chinese girls, doesn't matter. More black women graduate college.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what the problem is. The black community has not backed the black woman the way that they should have.
And that's
the black woman,
right.
The black community has failed the black woman. The black woman has held this black community up, and yet she's taking the blame for everything that's gone wrong.
And held the Democratic Party. And held the Democratic Party owes everything to black
yes,
women.
and the Democratic Party knows that. But see, here's the thing. Black women didn't take care of themselves. When they was out here pushing for legislation for black men didn't push for legislation of black women.
They did.
When Roe versus Wade was overturned, it wasn't just abortion that harmed black women. It's going to harm black women or the ones that's dying in childbirth. It just happened.
Underserving communities. When you go to Planned Parenthood, you just don't get abortions.
They do mammograms there.
Mammograms. That's cervical cancer screenings. There's a lot of other things. So when you take that out of underserved communities, you take that out. Then you have a
you're right. You're 100% right. You're 100%.
These are the same ones.
That's not.
But see,
I'm just saying this is statistics.
Yes, it's deeper than facts. Yeah, but it's deeper than that. They're the same ones telling you that they're pro-life, but you want to overturn the Affordable Care Act.
I was trying to get that out.
But as soon as
where are you pro-life at?
As soon as
you're willing to throw off the entire United States because the way that Affordable Care Act is written?
No, you can't.
You will throw everybody off.
As soon as that baby come out the womb, they want to put him. They want to put it in jail. They want to.
It's always killing.
They don't want it to do. They don't want it to do anything that doesn't serve.
And the thing of it, I look at it like this. They're always talking about law and order. Okay.
Yeah, please.
I'm 18. Let me finish. I'm 18 years old.
Right.
I can't buy a drink, but I can go in the military and I can go buy a gun.
And I can have a baby by this old ass nigga.
And
it turns the whole.
It just makes no sense to me. The logic makes no sense, but people are not looking at logic because, like I said, when you think about black people living in red states, they have not seen anything that benefited from them because they're living under stifling Republican governors.
Well, can I ask you a question, sis?
They don't know. So when they ask you what have they done for me, they're being serious. They're not being hyperbolic. They're actually being serious because they have never seen it. Well, here for us in the blue states, we have.
That's what I was about to ask you.
We have.
Thank you. That's what I was about to ask you, because it's a difference between
you can get EBT
the red
here.
states and the blue states.
You can get covered California here.
Yeah.
You can get treated at the hospital. But see, you go to those red states, there's no such covered nothing.
I got IHP. I couldn't get IHP.
They don't even exist. It doesn't even exist. It doesn't even exist.
You go to Alabama, you go to Arkansas.
Any red state, all of the red states turn down the child welfare program.
You can't get that shit there.
Ever.
And plus, if you have a heart attack, you got to go 35, 40 miles to get to a hospital.
Well, some it's more than that. Some it's 100. Some it's 100 miles. If you live in a rural area. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. And you know why? Because your local hospital closed. Because why? They didn't expand Medicare. This is the first year in Mississippi that they voted to expand Medicare. Jackson, Mississippi is 99% black and has the worst outcomes of anybody in America.
But then when you have people see sometimes black or white or color, sometimes it's just when a person's heart. See, a person like that Tiffany, whatever, that city girl mayor.
Oh, Tiffany Henry.
Oh, yes.
Now, you think...
No,
Illinois. See, you have a person like that. Could you be under scrutiny like that all the fucking time? Just I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do with all that kind of shit. When you work, you are a public servant.
She doesn't care about being a public servant.
You are.
Remember, these people in Congress, everybody in the government, you know what they do? What they get twisted on is they think the people work. The people, they're over the people. They work for the people. But people are dumb and think these people are on TV all the time. They work in Congress. I should look up to them. No, motherfucker.
This is why
I own the McDonald's. I own the McDonald's, and you work in the drive-thru.
Yeah.
That's exactly what. But the public,
the public doesn't know. The public doesn't know how government is ran. See, this is why. This is where. See, this is the real deal. The public doesn't know how government is ran. The public doesn't know that it is Congress that passes laws and the president signs them or vetoes them. So when you say, let me finish. When you say that Joe Biden can clear the border, no, Joe Biden can't. That's Congress that has to put forth the bill. So Joe Biden can sign it or decide to veto it, whatever. But if there's nothing there, he can't do shit. He can executive orders only go so far. They can be challenged in the Supreme Court. Some of them.
I went to go get gas today at the cheapest gas place.
Bro,
it was $4.99.
Bro, we'll argue.
He doesn't have the power to go. You know what? I'm gonna take 60 cents off the gas.
Bro,
no, and he doesn't have that.
Do that.
Bro, listen.
You know why he can't do it? Because Donald Trump back in 2018 allowed the Saudis to come in here and buy up our largest oil refinery in the United States, so they control it all. Your gas prices are high, not because Joe Biden made your gas prices high. Your gas prices are high. It's the supply and demand. They have cut production. When they cut production, that means that it's less oil. When it's less oil, you're going to pay more, and they're doing it purposely because it's about profit.
California has a 30 cent gas tax.
Yeah.
And plus we import in California, we import almost 70% of our oil. Why? Because legislation put those gas taxes in to raise money for what? To raise money for the infrastructure. So when you go on the freeway and you be like, damn, the fucking damn freeway, how come they're putting in all this shit and all that shit? Well, guess what? In a roundabout way, that money you spent 5 years ago, that's what's fixing the freeways. That's why when I run over that pothole, on the freeway, guess what? That pothole is shut down at 2 o'clock in the morning, and that pothole gets fixed.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, you may not think. Like, I saw the gas go up at the USA gas around the corner. I saw it go from 159 to 169 to 489 to today 499. Why? You think that Joe Biden did that shit to me?
No. Saudi Arabia did that shit.
Saudi Arabia did that shit.
And
Speculation on the market did that shit. Holding back resources. The Gaza war.
It's not even that.
I'm saying
It's not even that.
Straits.
It's not even that.
The
Here's
Panama Canal is backed up every day.
Yeah, but here's the big thing in a nutshell. When corporations were declared as being people, because back then, before that, let me dial it back just a little bit before 1978, most corporations and CEOs got their bonuses, 85% of their bonuses, through the stock market. But now, corporations are able to do what they like to do, mass layoffs, so they can dip into private equities and get their money that way from the private equity. So that's now 100% of their wealth is coming from private equity and laying you off
Buy a company, sell a company, sell it for.
No, but see, watch what I'm getting ready to tell you with all these 99-cent stores. I'm getting ready to, this is a prime example about the 99-cent stores. They're all going to close down, lay all those people off, and then dip into all that private equity, and they're going to be hand over fist with a bunch of money, reopen up under some other fucking name, and rehire a bunch of slew of people. This is why when they sit, these corporations play this game all the time. This is how they get their money. They used to get their money off of bonuses. 85% of their income when CEOs for these corporations prior to 1978, all their money came from bonuses. Now it comes from private equity that they dip into once they lay off a bunch of people. Why do you think you'll see these Walmarts shut down if they decide to go union and then open back up and they're non-union and they got a whole slew of different people and they'll open up?
Why do you think Amazon don't want to? Why do you think they fight tooth and nail? They don't want to go union.
The Amazon does the same thing.
They'll let everybody in the goddamn factory go before they'll go union.
Because they'll dip into their private equity stocks. That's where they're getting all their money from, which has been very lucrative.
Because
the money comes from there now. It doesn't come. It used to be bonuses.
That's where the Amazon comes from. There ain't no Amazon stores. There ain't no Amazon stores.
We know that.
But that's what I'm saying. Why do you think they don't give a fuck about the unions and stuff? Because this shit goes straight to your house. You don't have to get up and go to the car.
It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. It's from them being able to dip into the private equity that they have built up and take 100% of their profits from there versus getting 85% in bonuses prior to 1978 before they would declare.
They called it a golden parachute.
Yes, before they declared corporations people. See, when you declare corporations people, this is what gave corporations all this power.
Yes.
But like I said, that's why we're in the situation we're in. We're not in the situation because Joe Biden put you in the situation. This goes all the way back. You can dial this back to Ronald Reagan and his quote unquote, I'm going to fight neoliberalism. But in fact, he was the one with corporations. He's the one that put all of this shit.
He's the one who made it to what it is today, bro.
That was the time for corporate greed, the movie Wall Street, all that shit.
He set it in motion for Congress to be able to do what they're doing for our stock trading.
As what they're doing right today.
The stuff that they were doing used to be illegal then.
That man is dead and gone, but guess what he did?
But we're suffering the repecutions of it.
They do everything.
And this is why I said this when Barack Obama, like when they always talking about deportation, Barack Obama deported the most illegal immigrants in the history of any president.
He did. You can't lie.
So it's like, what are you people talking about? That's why when they talk about mass deportation, no. What Donald Trump is doing wants to do. Anytime you have to listen to the words. They're staining the blood of our water on our earth.
That's Nazi speech. That's Nazi speech. That's when he walked out there. When he walked out there, and he went up and held that Bible upside down. That was the Third Reich.
It's called the Third Reich. That is what
when he called people vermin. That's all you do is have to watch one Hitler documentary,
bro. You know what Reich means? It wasn't right. It was Reich.
Reich, R-E-I-C-H. Reich.
I can hit you in your stomach.
Yes, that was called the Third Reich, which means an empire who rules the world. But you see, this is why I've been trying to tell you guys.
Remember, they were all built off the occult. They were all built off the occult.
Finish, please.
Well, here's the thing. The thing about what we're in now, we're in more troubling times than we were then. And I'll tell you why. Because we got three different groups of white supremacy. You've got your neo-Nazis. Those are the Nazis after 1945. They're neo-Nazis.
Yes, we do.
The ones prior to them are called the Third Reich Nazis. Then you have the neo-national. You have the white nationalists, Christian nationalists, because they're religious based. And then you just got the crackers that are the KKK. And they're looked upon as being the bottom of the barrel. The top notch are the neo-Nazis because it's political for them. It's not religious.
That's called power.
Yes, and if you look at it, neo-Nazism is worldwide. The KKK white nationalism is also worldwide. But I'll tell you what all these three entities have in common, though, and why they work together. They're all for a white ethno-state. That means ethnic cleansing. Donald Trump is telling you about ethnic cleansing. Donald Trump isn't going to do a damn thing to you because he'll turn right around and tell you how he's about to usher in martial law, how he's about to basically, which is illegal now. You can't turn the military on the people, but if
put
he
everybody in jail.
But if you have it his way,
yes, thank you.
If you have it his way,
thank you.
He'll be turning the military.
Just put people in jail with no charges. But like Putin, motherfucker fell out the motherfucking window.
Yes. Or Victor Orban. No, it ain't gonna be he fell out the window with Donald Trump. Donald Trump straight pushed the motherfucker out of there.
With a piano.
Exactly. Yeah, the motherfucker flew out the window with the piano and talking about he jumped. No, that nigga didn't. How he jumped with the piano?
You want on it.
This is the thing. Like I said, this is the times that black people really don't understand. What you're doing is you're about to vote yourself back into Jim Crow. And is it going to look like Jim Crow? Oh, no. It's going to be at modern times. But guess what? It's going to have the same fucking effect.
Wow.
And this is what people need to understand. They need to understand this social credit score. All that shit is being ushered in. This is why black people are not prepared. And this is why I say black people are not prepared because they're not paying attention. All they're focusing on is the migrants coming over here and they don't do this. And
Chocolate.
It's not the migrants ain't your fucking problem.
Look at all these things that
they didn't need a lot of white people to take over your ass then, and they don't now because they run the fucking world.
Look at all these things that they say matters. Like more black people go to the movies right now than any other ethnicity.
Yeah, we know that. Okay.
So the economic power and the buying power, where is it? Just athletes buying $25, $50 million watches?
Why do you have to have it for like a
but see here again, black people made a mistake once again when they didn't take advantage and build their own communities. This is one of the things that there's less Asians than there is black people and Hispanic people, yet Asians have more capital. Why? Because they built their own fucking communities. They got their own hospitals. They got their own banks. They bought up their
Just drive on the 60 freeway.
Yes. Yes. They have their own banks.
Just go into Brea.
They have their hospitals. They have their own grocery stores. They have their own communities. Black people will get communities and turn them into fucking war zones. And they do this everywhere they go.
You remember where the hop was, Chocolate?
Yeah, but see, this is what I'm telling you, and I'm saying this because black people did not do this, and now be honest with you, it's too late. Now it's too late because what's happening now is they're getting ready to start redlining. And black people are not understanding. Is that we focused on the wrong shit. Reparations is not going to help you.
But it was given to us way ahead of time.
We didn't listen to our ancestors and our elders when they had generational wealth, when they had property and they was handing that property down. We did not We didn't do that. To me, you know, I was looking at something on YouTube the other day, and they were saying that roots kind of messed black people up. Yes, it did, and I'll tell you where it messed black people up.
It fucked us over.
It made us stagnant because it stopped at the fact that we didn't face the facts that our own ancestors sold us over here, and so we stopped working. We stopped. We got to the time passed to us, but we stopped pushing forward. We became stagnant, got caught up in the dope trade, in the gang trade, and we destroyed our own communities and destroyed our own families. We can sit there and say that they brought this and brought that in there, but you didn't have to partake in it. You chose to.
Thank you, sis.
You chose to.
You chose. That's what you did.
See, because when white people get a light shined on them when some shit is wrong, you best believe it's gonna be something done about it. That opioid crisis started hitting that community. They said, "Oh, whoa.
Hold up. We got a better picture than
they
y'all.
Get ready to stop that shit, but see, black people, we just keep going on. We don't know how to take things and move forward in a positive manner. No, what we got to do is find a way to beat the system
and stay ghetto.
We got to try to beat the system. Okay, now if you now all you gotta do is do this, which means all you do that shit, you going to jail in our community. When they hear that, all you gotta do, you going to jail. You going to jail. And we're not understanding. When the PPP loans came out, oh no, we found a way to beat that system, and then started crying when they started locking our asses up. But this is our mistake. We don't know how to take what we was given. Now, affirmative actions is all but gone.
Period.
So you're not going to be going to any colleges. I'm going to tell you something else. All those black historic colleges was built by white people.
Yeah.
So when they stop funding those, which they talking about doing in Mississippi, which most of your historically black colleges, Jackson State being one of them, it's a wrap.
I'm telling you some real shit, bro.
And this is what I'm trying to tell y'all.
You said something like this, but not y'all.
Voting rights. Voting rights. The John Lewis Act, like I said, everything. When Ice Cube came out there with this Black Plan for America nonsense, I'm gonna be honest with you, was all bullshit, because everything that was in there was already in the 2018. There was about the Black Congressional Caucus. You can go online and read it. They had the anti-lynching bill in there.
It was part of the.
They had all of that in there about black businesses, black banks, everything, all of that. Right. But Donald Trump and all them shot that shit down. So him going to fish that around and be talking to these people, to Donald Trump, it didn't mean a motherfucking thing. But then I see you taking pictures with Steve Bannon. And then you get mad when people question it. Bro, what the fuck are you doing? But it's good because it's all good. You can go vote for Donald Trump. You can go do all those things that you want to do because you think it's going to save you wealth-wise. Well, I'm sorry that Harry Belafonte and them can tell you that he didn't do shit for them.
You did some shit.
Okay, I'm sorry. Like I said, black people are not prepared for what's about to happen. You know, they are. I see all this stuff about Gaza. Like I said, I have my opinions on Gaza because I don't like what I'm seeing either. But over here, I'm not about to let Gaza dictate how I vote here, because how I vote here is what's going to have my lineage that I leave behind. I'm not going to fuck my lineage up behind something that's going on in Gaza because I don't live in Gaza.
Yeah, I don't live in
I live here in the United States. My vote is going to be to protect my lineage and my people that's here long after I'm gone. And I know if I vote wrong, it's a done deal.
What it is, yeah, it's done.
And I'm sorry, I'm not voting for Donald Trump. And for you black people that want to do that, you go right ahead. You can get up here and talk about, you know, especially you ones here in California. Oh, what Biden done for me? Okay, but you got the freedom to say that because you can go down there and get on Covered California. You can go down there and get your EBT card. But you see, go to Mississippi. EBT who? You can go to the free clinic. Ain't no free clinics. They done shut all the free clinics down. In Jackson alone, they only got 1 or 2 left.
Yeah,
when Roe v. Wade was overturned,
no meals before school.
They ain't got no doctors. They ain't got shit. But here in California, you can go anywhere.
Yeah,
that's not how it is in these red states.
Hey, we got a special guest.
So
yo, you gonna wrap it up?
You know, so I'm just saying.
No.
So like I said, it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to take in, but it's a fact. We're in some
I'm very awake.
We're in some
To the whole conversation.
we're in some uncharted waters, especially for our generation, because we didn't know we didn't know nothing about fighting for voting.
Good girl.
And shit.
We didn't know.
Shit.
But we're about to know.
Always will be one.
And shit.
And shit.
That's why I take this shit so seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's why I said
Ain't gonna
I
be
don't
a
care.
black ass
I don't care about
snake
no
ass.
Donald Trump, and I don't care about no Joe
Never.
Biden.
It's not about them.
What
it's
I
about
care
the
about
policies
is
and
down
policies.
That's
down
my
ballot.
whole-
And what I care about is the policy. What I want to.
I had this city
I would drop
councilman
kick them.
stop by the
Yeah,
house
drop
the other
kick
day.
them.
You know, he walking in the neighborhood.
Pow.
He just didn't have no signs, and it was, you know, all that. They can't ask you if you're a Democrat or Republican and stuff like that.
Everything.
I was like, you came to the house.
That is my job.
The Republican didn't come to the house.
As a human.
You came to the house, though.
That's
Okay,
It's called grassroots.
I'll listen to you.
It's called grassroots.
Come on, sis.
Yeah, it's grassroots.
Huh? I don't know what the fuck you gotta close this.
What?
Hey Lisa,
Ah.
you know what to close? No, you're not
Nope.
talking about that.
Nope.
No, I have to do this because you didn't open
No, you
this
gotta
up.
close the show.
No, I have to close this because you didn't open this
Lisa.
up to the
Yeah,
public.
I don't know how to do none of that.
No, you didn't do this.
None of that.
I don't know how to do none of that.
You did this, sis. Look.
We're not talking about turning off the lights.
No, I want to do that because I like looking at the public.
Okay, I know you.
I'm
Okay,
confused what I'm
it's all
saying
good. Somebody cut the computer off, please.
No, well now we're gonna go right here.
No.
Put it right back.
Oh, Lord.
Where he got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know what?
But he had that.
You know what? This is what do you call that shit? The
Too much
outtakes.
drinking.
The outtakes.
Cut,
The
cut,
outtake.
can you turn it off?
Cut the shit off.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it off.
Just hit exit.
No, you got to turn off everything because it'll keep going. And
I
Right
don't
now.
know. I have no clue about this shit.
yeah, it'll keep
But
going.
I know it need to be like, okay.
Stop
I'm out,
recording.
y'all.
Stop recording. Just stop. Bam.
Oh my gosh. Where's
Then
that?
we're gonna go
No,
here.
that's not exit.
No, I got.
We cannot.
Look, if y'all want to argue with me, I gotta stop
No,
recording.
yeah, I already knew that. I told
Two
Chuck
times.
that shit.